Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today we will see the basic file permissions and directory permissions in Linux, specifically in RHEL. So before moving forward, I have created some videos previously about how to set local yum repository, how to install a RHEL machine on VMware Workstation and many other videos, and I also have a series of Linux interview question and answers. If you haven't watched those videos, I'll put the link into the description. You can go and watch them. And if you like the videos, click the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so that you don't miss any updates from Technical Beaks, because your support will motivate me to make more videos. And I'll be coming up with such type of videos every day, so stay tuned. Alright then, without further ado, let's get directly into our practical. So today's agenda is what are files and directories permissions, how many types of files, what is RWX permission and its calculation, how to change owners and groups of a particular file, what is setuid, setgid and sticky bit, and how it is applied on a file or a directory we will see. Okay. So permissions group, each file and directory has three user based permission groups. The first one is owner. The owner permission apply only the owner of the file or directory and they will not impact the actions of other users. The second one is group. The group permissions apply only to the group that has been assigned to the file or directory and they will also not affect the actions of other users. And the third one is all users, or you can call as others. The all user permission apply to all other users on the system. This is the permission group that you want to watch the most. Okay, so you have to keep that in mind. We have to be very careful with this third one, that is all users or others permission. Each file or directory has three basic permission types. First one is read. The read permission refers to a user's capability to read the content of the file. Write. The write permission refers to a user's capability to write or modify a file or directory. And the third one is execute. The execute permission affects a user's capability to execute a file or view the contents of a directory. I will create a file now and let's see how it looks. I have created a test file. So with the help of ls-n, that is list all the things that are currently present in this directory. ls-s will give you, and you have to note one thing, that I haven't given any permission, but still there are some permission already assigned or default permission to this file that I have currently created. So what are this? So we spoke about three different types of permissions, that is first three are for the user, the other three are for the groups, and these three are for others, that is all users. So here the default is RWRR. We will see in the next slide how it is calculated. So as you can see, the first one I have told you that is owner, the second one is group, and this is the third one others. These all are permissions, and RWX is nothing but read, write, execute. And you will see, if you notice over here, this one is empty. The first one, the hyphen is empty. That could be anything, that could be a directory. If you create a directory, that will denote as D. You can consider it as just to tell you that this is a directory, or this is a symbolic link, or B, it is a block special file, or if it shows a C, then it is a character special file, and if it shows a P, it is a named pipe special file, and if it is mentioned as S, then it is a local socket special file. So viewing the permissions, you can view the permission by checking the file or directory permission in your favorite GUI file manager, or by reviewing the output, as I have entered the command ls-l So that is how we saw the file that I have created. The permission in the command line is displayed as something like this, what I have shown you all already. This type of permission means the file has full permission. We will see the calculation in the next slide. The first character that is marked with an underscore is a special permission flag that can vary, which we have talked about in the earlier slide. That can vary means it could be a special file, it could be a directory, it could be a symbolic link. The other one, the following set of three characters is for owner, the second one is for group, and the third one is for the others, all users. The last piece is owner and group assignment formatted as owner group. Modifying the permission, when in the command line the permissions are edited by using command chmod. So as you have already seen, there was a default file permission when I created a file. And what if you want to change that default file permission and you want to assign a different permission? That is where we use this chmod command. So you can assign the permission explicitly or by using a binary reference. Binary reference is nothing but, if you want, you can use integers as well. So here in this picture you can see we have a user, group and other, which has read, write, execute, that is RWX, and it is denoted with some numbers, some integers, that is R is always considered as 4, W is always considered as 2, and 1 is considered as 1, which brings to a total of 7. So here in this picture the user has full permission, the group has read and write permission and no execute permission, and others are having no permissions, that is no read, no write and no execute permissions. So if we use this chmod command 760 on a file, this type of permission we will get rwx, rw and hyphen hyphen hyphen. So we can also do that on our file. If I chmod 760 integer, if I use this number on our test file, then let's check. So if you can see, the result is same, rwx, rw and then hyphen hyphen hyphen. To explicitly define permission, you will need to reference the permission group. The permission group are user, group, others and all users. So the potential assignment operators are plus and minus. These are used to tell the system whether to add or remove the specific permission. And what if you want to add or remove some permission with the help of chmod command? Here we have some examples. For example, if I want to remove the read write permission from a file, what I will type is chmod a hyphen rw and file name. Let's see, chmod a hyphen rw and our file name. So as you can see on the test file, there is no read write execute permission at all for user, group and others, for no one. So this can be used, and if the same is used with a plus sign, then again the read write execute will be given. Let's have a look. If you can see, for user, group and others, all the three are having read write execute. So this has happened with a plus rw and the file name. This is how it is executed. These are some very basic understandings which a Linux admin or a system admin should be aware of. We are here in this Linux tutorial starting with basics, and later on we will cover some major advanced topics that are DNS, SFTP, Apache, that will come into later videos. Owners and groups. So now that we have changed the permission, but we haven't changed the owners and group of the permission. So first we will see ls-l. If you can see, the owner is root and the group is also root. So what if I want to change this? So before changing, I will have to create the user and the group. So I'll create a user first with user add test user, and I'll also create a group. I'll create a group as family group, that is the command is group add family 1. Okay, so I have created this group, that is family 1. So what will I do now? Now to change the owner, I will use this command, that is chown, also called as chown, that is change owner, the owner name, the group name and the file name. So let's see, I will use it as chown, the owner name, test user, the group name, the group that I have created family 1, and the file name. So now if we check, the owner name has changed and the group name has also changed. So in order to change the owner or a group of a particular file, this is how, this is the command that is used to change it. This is how we can do it. The special permission flag can be marked with any of the following. These are some special permission, that is D, L, and we have already spoken about this in the earlier slide. The indicated the set UID and set GID permission, this is not set displayed in the special permission part of the permission display, but is represented as S in the read portion of the owner or group permission. So if it is set UID or set GID, where we are seeing RWX, in that portion you will see a S, it will be denoted as S. Then we can easily rectify that yes, this is a file set with set GID or set. Similarly for a sticky bit, it will be mentioned as T. If in that particular portion, if it is mentioned as T, where we have seen RWX is mentioned, then we can easily find out that yes, this is a file with sticky bit. We will see in the next slide what is set UID and sticky bit. So the set UID, set UID and set GUID permissions are used to tell the system to run an executable as a owner with the owner's permission. So in this case, when this type of permission is set on a file, with the owner permission we are executing the file, and if you incorrectly assign permissions to file owned by root with set UID set GID, then you can open your system to intrusion. You can only assign the set UID set GID bit by explicitly defining permissions. So to assign this type of permission, what we will do is, for this type of permission, chmod g plus s and the file name. Let's see, chmod g plus s and the file name I will type here. Now let's check how it looks. So the color has also changed and you can see the S is mentioned over here. So we can easily make out that yes, it is a set UID or set GID bit is already applied on this file. So the next is sticky bit. What is sticky bit? It can be very useful in shared environment, because when it has been assigned to the permissions on a directory, it sets so only file owner can rename or delete the file. So with that you can understand, if there is a sticky bit present on a file, only the file owner can rename it, delete it or modify it. No other user that is using the file can make any type of changes. And how do we know that there is a sticky bit present and how a sticky bit is applied? With this command, that is chmod plus t, chmod plus t and the file name. Let's have a look at the file, and if you can see, the sticky bit is also there and the set UID set GID is also present on the same file. So that means if any other user wants to change it or make any modification or want to delete the file, he'll not be able to do that. So that brings us to the end of this video. I hope this video or this practical was useful for you. If yes, do click the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel, because more videos are coming, and this will be very helpful for anyone who is interested in learning Linux or maybe preparing for an interview. So stay tuned. See you in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye bye.